Hello everyone. So this lesson involves learning about exponent rules. The exponent rules are fairly simple to follow. The trick is having to memorize them. But once we understand them, memorizing doesn't take so much work. So let's start with the product rule. The product means multiply. And what the product rule states is that if you have a situation where a to the mth power times a to the nth power, what your result would be is a to the m plus nth power. So when you multiply two values with the same base, you add the exponents together. An example of this would be if we had x squared times x to the 8th power, that would become x to the, 2 plus 8 is 10, so to the 10th power. Next rule we have is the power rule. This states that if we have a to the mth power and we raise that to the nth power, what that becomes is a to the m times nth power. In this case, you're going to multiply the exponents together. So an example of this would look like x to the 3rd raised to the 5th power. That would equal x to the, 3 times 5 is 15, so x to the 15th power. The quotient rule states that if we have a to the mth power over a to the nth power, your result would be a to the m minus nth power. So now you're subtracting the values of the exponents. Now, an example would be x to the 6 over x to the 4th. That would become x to the, 6 minus 4 is 2, so x squared. Then we have the negative exponent rule. This states that if you have a to the negative mth power, what that can reduce to is 1 over a to the mth power. Now this one's a little tricky sometimes, but what it really amounts to is just placing your value on the opposite side of the fraction and making the exponent positive. So if we add x to the negative 3, that would become 1 over x to the 3rd. Let's draw that 3 a little better. But what this could also mean, and this is a situation worth noting, is that if we had 1 over x to the negative 2, then that would become, we would swap the position of x on the other side of the fraction, and it would become x squared over 1, which is just x squared. And it's x to the negative 2. 1 over x to the negative 2. And then the zero exponent rule, probably the easiest to know, is a to the 0 is 1. However, 0 to the 0th power is undefined. So anything raised to the 0th power besides 0 itself is just 1. Hence, I could have some complicated expression like x to the 3rd, y to the 5th, 7, I don't know. If I raise all that to the 0th power, it would still just become 1. Now, in the next videos, we will see exactly how we can properly use these exponent rules in actual problems.